right after my session, I decided that I was going to start pursuing motorsports. It was something that I was extremely passionate about in my 20s. And it's something that I can still do, even being disabled, is I can still
Yeah.
drive. And so to be able to take the motorsports and partner it with the mental health stuff, and it's adrenaline driven, which a lot of veterans, they
Right.
thrive on adrenaline. So I think it's a great way to get the word out there. And for me, finding something that you're passionate about and something that gives you drive and helps you with your mental state, excuse me, helps you with your mental state, is vital to the process of thriving. There's living and then there's thriving, and I want to thrive. We're only here for a short period of time, and I want to
Yeah.
make the most of every minute. And so I always tell people, whatever it is, find your community, find people with similar interests, and find something that really lights a passion, and it will change. It will change the state of your mind, and finding resources like 220 will help you on that journey, because if your mind is a mess, it's hard to make any steps forward.
Right.
You get stuck, you dig in a hole and you get low. It takes something like that to kind of dig you out. So
Yeah, Tia, you really like unpacked a lot, and I really thank you for your vulnerability and really like sharing like the backstory of like, how you gradually, came to this point. And like, if I can put it in two words, fed up. You got fed up, and after so many like push and pulls, you discover something that works for you, and you can proudly forward it to somebody else. And when I think about like hurdles, veterans like face and getting mental health care, like like the way you face it, it's like running an obstacle course. Except like the obstacles are the bureaucracy that you spoke to, the stigma, and oh yeah, more bureaucracy. I mean, I seen like DMV lines move faster than some of these processes, and you describing it like perfectly, like you a good case study for this, and I like to talk about the red tape and the stigma that like veterans deal with, and what we can do to start cutting through that. Share like your take on like this, and what this maze can, how we can break down these walls of these mazes.
You know, honestly, I don't know. As far as the VA is concerned, um, that's one of those things where I feel like people are fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. And I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
Why even worry about the VA? It'd be cool to make some changes there, but my long term goal is to start getting to where I'm monetizing the things that I'm doing to raise funding and stuff like that, to
Mhm.
start building some new places, like kind of like a wellness center,
Mm,
as you
yeah.
could call it, like in every major city that veterans have access to for free. And then you could even have like civilians have access to it too, because I've gone on both sides of the road. I went and reached out to the civilian side, and the civilian side isn't much better. The
Okay.
waits are
Yeah.
ridiculous. I didn't feel like I connected really well with most of the doctors. It's almost like they listen to you for a few minutes and then they just start the guessing game with medication. And there's a lot of these great options that are non-medicated options, like natural healing things, but these things aren't covered by insurance, and most people are charging an arm and a leg to receive those things. So it's only the higher up, financially stable people that can even afford those things.
Yeah.
So to take some of those and integrate it into a new center, if the VA is continuing to push back and refuses to make these steps that would definitely elevate the mental health care system, then I say, all right, y'all do your thing. We're gonna build something better. Because I mean, like, there's something called neurofeedback or
Hmm.
biofeedback. The VA has it on their website that it's available, and it's basically they hook up. a cap on your
Yeah.
head, and it deals with the brain waves. And it's supposed to be highly effective for all kinds of mental health disorders, from autism to ADHD to depression, anxiety, PTSD, all of these things. They say it's like going to the gym for your brain. And if you
Hmm.
go to the gym, you get stronger. Well, if you go do this neurofeedback, your brain gets stronger. The neural pathways get to where they're communicating properly.
Yeah.
And like I said, the VA claims that they offer it if you go on their website, but I have been trying to get that through the VA for probably at least 10 years. And I have
Mm-hmm.
yet to be introduced with anybody that can put me in the right place. So why not take those kinds of therapies? My approach to mental health is to decompress and to do all the natural processes first
Yeah.
before you start trying to play into medication. Because, the
Yeah.
mental health care system is literally, like I said, they listen to you for a few minutes, they assess you, and then they're like, all right, here, we're going to just start trying these medications on you, and hopefully one might help you. And I think there's a way better way to approach this. I'm surprised it's 2024 that we haven't made it farther in the mental health care system. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I believe that we can make a change. I believe if we get enough people together, that we can build a better system. Like I said, whether it's to integrate it into the VA, hopefully, because that's where a lot of veterans go for their
Yeah.
for their health care, or if it just means, like I said, building a whole new system, and having that available to anybody that needs it. Because I mean, honestly, if you look at the jails and prisons, most of those people are struggling with some sort of mental health disorder, whether it be depression or anxiety and trauma that they've faced. Addiction most addiction derives from trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Homelessness. Most of our homeless vets are out there because they're suffering
Yeah.
from some sort of PTSD or some sort of mental disorder. So if you imagine if we're able to change access to all of these things that could better our mental health care, all of these things across the board would benefit. If you look at all the violence that happens in the US,
Yeah.
it's because our mental health is declining at a ridiculous rate. And to me, I don't know why mental health isn't at the top of the board of things that we need to fix. Because I feel like it's at the root cause of 90% of our issues. So
Exactly.